Today we're going to make a French sausage. I have here pork shoulder. Pork shoulder is what it is, the shoulder from the pork that's been debones and already denerved. It's very important that we remove the nerves. One good thing about the pork shoulder is that it has automatically 25% of the original fat that's going to be used into the sausage. 25% to 30% is the maximum amount of fat you want to use in the sausage. More than that will be too greasy, and less than that will be a little bit too dry. Okay, this meat was already previously frozen, and now I'm going to put the meat through the machine to the grinder. The size about 1/4 inch. Everything is cold. The machine is cold, and the attachment as well has been cooled previously. So it's very important that we keep everything cold, that the fat doesn't melt prior to cooking the sausage. I'm going to need to do 2 batches. Okay. Okay, everything went through nicely. The salt I'm using today is the Tender Quick, which has regular salt and also nitrate. Nitrate actually. Nitrate will give you a nice little bit of a flavor, but also a nice color, pink color of the product. This is what's occur also with the ham, deli ham. That's the reason why the ham is pink. I'm gonna sprinkle the salt over the meat to create a first bind. That's gonna release some of the glue of the meat, the natural jelly that will hold the sausage together later. Et mon poivre, the pepper, now the garlic. Cornstarch will help the sausage to keep it nice, sliceable, particularly when you finish the sausage. Keep it nice and tight. Now we'll mix this further with my spatula, and then as I'm done here, I will use the machine to finish it, the mixer. Okay. I put the bowl from the machine into the fridge to keep it nice and cold. Now I'm going to mix it up with the paddle. There we go. About a minute or so, and I will test the meat to see if it has nice and tight by picking the meat up with my bare hands and making sure it sticks to my hand. I will do the test again with my hand. There we go, it sticks to my hands. Taking the bowl from the press, and I'm going to make sure that the casing again is the same size, and this is the bigger tube than I have, and I'm going to have to keep this very tight because I know that the casing that we're using today are beef casing, so they're a little bit larger than the one we use for different sausages that we make previously. So I'm going to cut this approximately about 1 foot. Okay, I'm going to fill the sausage press with the mixture of the meat. I'm going to make sure that I'm going to remove the air that's accumulating to the mass, that it doesn't go into my in my casing. Thank you. Now again, I will take a little bit of the mixture and into the plate and into my container. That's to prevent any air. Push it down. I'm going to put the machine together and bring it down to the as far down as I can, and I can see the meat coming through the tube. Then I know I'm ready to go. The beef casing is a little bit larger, and we're going to have to tighten the casing on end because they are. We make them individually. It's a lot easier to work with. I think, for me it is. Now when I like to take the string and I have to get string for a few sausages, I just put on my arms like this. It'll allow me to cut the same length of string in one shot. I'm taking a piece of casing and we're going to make another, let's call it a bubble nut. So I'm going to, I leave approximately an inch of the casing sticking out. I go 1 and 2, that's the first knot. Then I'm going to take the little tag, flip it over my string here and trap this in the next knot to make sure it doesn't slip, especially if you want to hang your sausage later on, which I recommend overnight in the fridge before you cook it. Now we're going to encase the casing over the tube and we're gonna keep it very tight and make sure the sausage is nice and tight. So press it, let it go slowly, let the meat that comes out of the casing do the job. The piece of string, I'm going to go around the casing nice and tight. 1, 2. I put my thumb on the top, and what I like to do, I like to hold it just like this to make sure that the casing doesn't come loose. So nice and tight, and again, a little loop to hang them later on. Go. I'm going to cut the casing a little shorter now. Cut the bottom string shorter. I'm going to make another one, maybe a little smaller, but it'll be alright. Now, any pieces of excess that comes out, you can use it again, but you have to remix it with the mass because it's not going to be nice and tight otherwise. A bit smaller on this one, maybe, maybe not. Nice and tight. There you go. Okay. Voila. I keep it nice and tight, and I will use my hands to make sure it stays that way, and I put my thumb on the string to keep it from loosening up. With my belly I hold it, the tag. This way it's easier to work along, or you can have somebody help you out, but it's not always practical. There we go. Now this tag over the string, and again 1, 2, tie them up, and I will finish it and make a little loop. For this suspend to hang them. I will suggest that you hang them overnight in your fridge. They get nice and dry on the outside, and then for cooking them 145 internal temperature in a very low simmering water. I'm looking for air bubbles, a little few, you can see it through the casing. And again on both ends, very nice, a nice little sausage. And then to be poached, and I like my sausage to be poached to 145 as I said before, but also I like to eat them cold. Reheat them is okay, but do not over reheat them, they become dry. I'm going to cook the garlic sausage. I have the water to a temperature of 180. I'm going to add the garlic sausage into the water bath, and I'm going to cover them with a rag, a cloth, in order to keep them submerged. And sometimes they get tendency to float, so by keeping them submerged with the rag, it'll keep the temperature consistent. It will be more consistent in the cooking. I'm going to put the little rags over the top to make sure they keep submerged and to keep the constant temperature and put this back there and to monitor the temperature while it cooks. And this way you can adjust your temperature up and down depending on what you see on the thermometer. Thank you for watching, and if you like the video just press the like button, and if you haven't subscribed yet, do so. Thank you.